reading. Okay. Let's see if I can get all this stuff in. Copy. All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and I keep thinking it's Tuesday. I have like so much stuff to share with you. I'm trying to get all the links into the description box right now, so that way if you are interested in any of the products or if you want to learn more about anything, then you can see it and go from there. So it's Wednesday. I woke up at 3 o'clock in a total panic, thinking I'm forgetting stuff for Friday. This is part of my anxiety. It's normal. So then I woke up Kendall and he's looking at me like it's 3 o'clock in the morning. But we went back to sleep or whatever. I just have like all these little tasks that I need to get done, and I'm almost done with the majority of them. It's just that all the kids like year in school stuff is happening, like field trips, concerts, and all this stuff. So I'm trying to make sure I have everything organized. And for whatever the reason may be, my Google app for this week has been missing stuff or reminding me things a day after the event happened. I'm like, what is going on? I use my Google Calendar for like everything, like absolutely everything. So, good morning, everyone. So, first things first, Aura Rosa came out with a not one, but two patterns. So you guys have two videos in that went live this morning, and you have the Deana clutch and the Nettie. So let's go over Deana. I have two Deanas to show you. You have a nice wrist strap that you use with a corset ring. I put a corset ring on both sides because I think you can make a crossbody, adjustable strap crossbody, or a shoulder bag. And then, or have a chain. So when you open it up, I didn't have the hardware that goes over this. There's these really pretty trims at Emmeline Bags. There's two different style. Good morning. And so when you have that, when you open it up, you have a slip pocket. You have a zipper pocket. And then on the other side, you have these really cool credit card slots that also has a slip pocket in the back. I like how this one comes together. This one, like literally, you could I timed myself on the first one. I cut it and I made it in under 3 hours. So I'm really impressed with that. There's different places you can put your logo if you have one. I was going to put a tag in here, but I kept forgetting. I need a sticker or a magnet that says "Don't forget your tag" or "Don't forget your label," because I'm notorious for that. You only rivet through the wings on the side, and this other wing is connected to the interior side wings. They're so cute too. I like this wallet. You can make it in a lot of different things. That one's made out of cork with cotton, and this one's all cotton. Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching it. Okay, so I really love. Okay, so with the Nettie, all the testers, most of the testers had like these really pretty trims that you can get at Emmeline Bag. For some odd reason, when I ordered the trims for the Nettie, I did not think of the Deana at all. Like I don't know why. I was like, why didn't I think of that? But next time. So I just want to show you some things that you could do. It looks great without the trim. I love this. You could do a decorative stitch, or like I had this idea with certain webbing that go around this. I was going to do like these really cool Celtic like lace, well, not lace, trim embroidery, but then again I forgot when I was making it. I'm notorious for that. So with this one, I instead, because this is an Alice in Wonderland, this fabric's from Riley Blake. I used two Chicago screws to give it a look of something popping out three-dimensional. And it looks great in cotton. And look at but I'm late for my date. And you have again your credit cards, and you have both sides have a slip pocket. And this one is made with all cotton, and I just used vinyl for the wristlet. And again, um I did put the corset rings on both sides, because also left-handed, right-handed people, and just giving you the opportunity to wear it as a handbag or crossbody bag would be nice. But I really do like this. I wanted to make one in all cotton, and as long as you keep, like it says this in the pattern, and I think I stressed it in the videos, follow Alexis's rules for interfacing. As long as you keep it out of the seam allowance, you're gonna breeze over this. I kept all the interfacing out of the seam allowance, and I used a zipper foot the whole time. The thickest part you're going to sew through is when you go through all layers when you do the wings. But again, if you follow how you're supposed to trim and keep things out of the seam allowance, everything will go peachy keen. So then the next bag is the Nettie. And oh my God, this bag, like I want this wallet for myself. Like this is goals. This is the trim is from Emmeline. And this is all cotton too. Because I'm hearing like a lot of people want to see things in cotton. And yeah, I do have a grown-up cotton collection. Yes, I do. It just has to be weird. So it's a newspaper print, and I use cotton for the interior. And here's the credit card slots. I almost got the lines perfect. Almost. I was so close. But see, like that's some fussy cutting for you. Like this one right here that's off centered, and this one is driving me bonkers. I like try to re-iron it and press it in different directions just to see if I can get it. I was so close. You got your zipper pocket, and you have two credit card slots and an additional zipper pocket. So you have like one slip pocket, 2, 3, and then you can put your phone in the inside. On this, I used waterproof canvas because I had, again, scraps don't go behind. I had this scrap from last year. It was like a 3x6 piece, and I was able to get 2 exterior pieces for that pop of green to match this. This one you do need 4 rivets too, one here and one here. The base is connected to the lining, and I really like this. This one, it comes together really nice. It has a nice feel to it. It turns really easily. And again, I know the how we seal this up is interesting. But as you can see, nothing's open. It's permanently closed. I gave this to one of my kids to play with, and it didn't open up. So it's kid approved. And the back comes together really nice, so that this is not in your final construction. When you're sewing the lining and the exterior together, you don't have to worry about the bulk of the flap. And it just comes together with the magnet. Now, there is a couple different trims that you can do for this. I showed you them in the beginning or the end of the video. You can have the longer one like I have. There's a shorter one like about this for Emmeline bags. But at the last minute, I was putting strap ends, and the booking corners will look perfect at the very end. It'll be very small, but it'll give it like a very pop of color. There are people in our test group that have like decorative like magnets or decorative like there was a person that has a cat that's on this side. It's on a bar. You can do a lot of different things. Like I said, if you don't have the hardware, thinking outside of the box helps out tremendously. I've had these red roses forever. I have an Edgar Allan Poe bag that I have in mind, but then I was like, you know what? Off with their heads, paint the red roses. So it worked out for that. And then this was the first one I did, and I wanted something, again, I had to get a little kooky. So it's some steampunk ears. And then the inside is, this is, I forgot, this is a fabric from Emmeline bag too. It's, it has a wax coating onto it. it weirdly, when it irons, it can smoke. You could put some heat, but if it's too much, you can see the smoke rise. It's pretty interesting. And I tried something different. I have a friend that she does not stitch her credit card slots down, and I always like the way her credit card slots look. And I try to emulate it. I don't feel like I achieved it like she did. But again, I'm loving all the slip pockets. And then you have your zipper. I thought the Tim Holtz fabric went really well with the steampunk. So there you go. So I did a little bit of a mix. This one has no hardware, and you can see it comes to a nice sharp point. So it's going to look phenomenal if whether you have the hardware or not. And you can choose to put, like I said, the corset rings on both sides. So you could switch it up to the left or right, or you wear it as a handbag. They come together really fast. I was like, Alexis, oh my God, these come together fast. Because, Ora Rosa patterns, they're very detailed orient, and there's a lot of steps that can make the process a little bit longer, but rewarding. So when I got these and I seen the finished results, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. She did a wonderful job. And I can't believe she banged out 2 wallets. Like, I feel like wallets are extremely hard to make because we don't see them as much as we do in the bag making world. There's a handful of wallets, and we're all like, yeah, NCW, classic zip around wallet. Like, we have the wallets, we know which ones work. So the fact that she came out with like 2 wallet clutches, I was blown away. Yeah, I went different with the fabrics than I usually do. I wanted nothing to be custom. That was like my first one. So I challenged myself not to have custom fabric. I did not fully adhere to this because the steampunk fabric comes from 3 bobbins, but it's not like fandom. So I don't consider it custom. So it's not a fandom fabric, and this vinyl was okay to work with. It looks great. My issue with this vinyl is that when you puncture a hole through the needle, it comes out where like there's a white spot. Like, so it takes the color when it punches the needle. And so I had to do like some baby edge painting with a needle to cover up each individual hole because it was going to drive me nuts. You would have seen like white dots all the way around here. So yeah, I put a lot of time in this one because I can't sell a wallet that I'm not feeling 100% about. But that was the only fandom one. This is from Zen Chic, the filigree collection. This is Riley Blake. I forgot what she called it. It's not quite Alice or something clever. And I did use custom fabric from Zombie Rabbit Bunnies. I am really bad with names, and it doesn't make any sense because my name is super complicated. You would think I would take heed to remembering people's names, but I don't. So I didn't use custom fabric on this one, but I also used cotton. And I knew someone was going to ask me about waterproof canvas, and I did use waterproof canvas on these pockets, but they have no interfacing whatsoever in the Zombie Bunny. Thank you. This has no interfacing whatsoever because if I put any interfacing, it was going to be too bulky on the seams here. So you can use water proof canvas or water resistant. This is water proof. This is the one from Fabric Wholesale Direct. So you can do that and it's fine. It does get bulky if you don't follow the instructions on interfacing. It's really, really important. And I always tell people to make one first, even if you're like, I don't want to waste material, make a mock-up, get some muslin, get the ugliest fabric you could purchase for like, dollars, go to the clearance section at Joann's, Hobby Lobby's, Walmart, whatever is near you. There's always like ugly fabric that's absolutely hideous. And then you can not put the hardware in. You can draw the fake magnets on so you can see if they match up and do the credit cards slots so that way you can see if it's going to work out for you before you touch your cork or you're really putting faux leather or leather. I like sometimes when I'm making bags or like I feel like a bag might be too complicated for me and I need to figure something out. That is my favorite thing to do. I have tons of muslin and I'll make a fake wallet. And Patreon knows that because they see me make the fake everyday tote I got some water resistant canvas from Amazon and it was horrible. Like it was like translucent. Like I was like, what is this? And I didn't know what to do with this. So when I was trying to figure out the modification for the everyday tote to have zippers going up the sides of it, I used that as my muslin, and I use the zipper tape that I don't use anymore, like the size 4 that I have tons that were from like Lazy Girls Sews. And I used that, and that was my muslin. And then I was able to hack up the bag to make the pieces um so I can accommodate my modifications. And I do the same thing, like especially if it's a brand new wallet, I'll get muslin. I will get even the cheaper interfacings that simulate, like where people are like, oh, 808's like Decaville light, like throw 808 in it. You can get a feel of it to see what it looks like, so that you're not wasting your good fabric and your good interfacing and your good hardware and just mock it up. Or at least mock up the credit card slot to see how thick it is and determine whether or not you're going to need to put a walking foot on your machine, or if you need to reduce even more of the interfacing. But I think how Alexis has it is brilliant. You're like, the seam allowance is 3/8 of an inch, and I think the interfacing, if I'm not mistaken, is like a half an inch shorter than the pieces, so that you're not doing it, but just follow it, and it'll make all sense. Oh, thank you, Lynette. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Teresa. Good morning. This yellow newspaper one I got from Stitch Supply Co. She goes on every Tuesday. If you do have an Instagram, follow Stitch Supply Co. And I'm gonna tell you why. She comes on every Tuesday. She shows a whole fabric collection that's launching that week. She's not, so if like a collection has 20 pieces, she's not showing you the pieces that they're thinking everybody's gonna go wild at. She shows you every color. So with this particular one, the Zen Chic, she showed like a gray and some other thing. I automatically gravitate to gray. I don't know why. And she had like a charcoal color. But then when I seen this yellow, I was like, I need this. And I bought like 2.5 yards. I don't know what else I'm going to make with it, but anything I do make with it, I feel like it looks very, I don't know. You know the Carrie Bradshaw dress when she's wearing the newspaper one? I feel like it's like that. That's what I feel like. It's a Sex in the City bag. So, yeah, she shows really cool things. Like she was showing Halloween stuff, like Halloween prints that are coming out. She very unique prints that I probably don't see at my local quilt shop. You already know how I feel. My local quilt shop doesn't even have Tula Pink. So like I think I watch her to see what fabrics I like. Like one of the steampunk lines that I purchased last year was one that she showed, and I had no idea who this designer was or anything. And I wouldn't have known if I didn't watch her Tuesday like sharing. And also when you follow her Tuesday thing, she gives you hints when they're going to have the advent calendar. It's going to be in July, but it's just really exciting because you know how I do the openings. She does the day after openings on her Instagram, and it's just, she's a very like warm presence, and she's very knowledgeable about fabrics. So yes, that's the Zen collection for that. Yes, thank you, not a thread. I don't know. The thing is I think rabbit and zombie. I don't know why I don't ever think bunny. I'm weird. Good morning. Yeah, you just have to trust the process. That's the one thing, even like I've been sewing for Alexis, testing for her for a while, and I always, when I want to change something up, I have to kind of go back to basics and say, follow the pattern. Yes, there's certain techniques that you like. Everyone has techniques they like, but you need to follow the pattern when you're testing to see that, make sure that other people can comprehend what's going on and catch something that maybe the designer or someone else in the team didn't do, as well as you need to follow the process. Because if someone asked me on my post like, well, are your credit card slots a half an inch, and I just started folding and didn't ever measure it, I can't answer that question truthfully. Just follow her process. To gain, if you like her bag that's on her design cover, and you want that to achieve that look, follow what she does in the pattern, and you can achieve it. So definitely do that. And I'm a huge advocate of sewing with ugly fabric, especially if I'm going to make me something. to see what I need to change, or do I need to change a different foot? Do I need to have a compensation foot or whatever? But I did sew this, this, and this. Ooh, whopping myself in the face. All on my smaller Juki. That's the equivalent to a Juki QVP mini, and I had a zipper foot on like the whole time. I only had to use a hump jumper going up and then going down, and it was not no skip stitches, nothing. So um I would have I would have filmed the cork one on my smaller Juki, but the issue with that side of the wall is that, remember, my electricity in my house kind of sucks. All electricity plugs only work on this side of where I'm at, and there's only 2 plugs. So it's either I have to choose a light or a camera, versus if I use the plugs on that side of the wall, I only can use one thing. So that's why I choose right now to film right here, unless I'm going to physically move um, my industrial machines around, because at this point we only have this. I have 2 outlets. So like, even when I'm ironing, I have to unplug my machine. It's going to get fixed on Friday. I keep on, but it has been a process filming or whatever, because I only have 2 outlets in here at this time. Ugly fabric, yeah. Go when, like, okay, we just had Memorial Day. Go to Joann's. I guarantee you they're gonna have some patriotic red, white, and blue stuff that's on sale because nobody bought it, and it'll be like dollars. Like, oh, you can get 2 yards for $2, and you just be like, okay, cool. And that's also how you practice your fussy cutting. That's also how you can practice. You see me? I'm like I almost got the lines dead on. Like, this is how you practice trying to match things, is by I would get the most craziest print to see if you can match things. It's a skill set that we all have, and it takes time. And once you start doing it, you're always going to want to do that. I promise you. You're going to be like, I want to fussy cut. So I was literally here with Hope. Hope was sitting at the other sewing machine, and she was watching me pen these in place, trying to see if I can get the lines go directly. The lines are not exactly straight, as you can see. They have like a little like smudges, which I like, because it looks like someone drew these and like try to smudge it out with their finger. But I was trying so hard to get that fussy cut. So that's how you could practice on things like that, is you could practice fussy cutting, practice how you lay credit cards. And again, for credit card slots, I use a hot ruler. I put that in there and I hit it, and then my lines are perfect. But you don't need a hot ruler if you don't have one. If you have like a paper card, like not cardboard, but like a card paper, like if you I was going to say something, but it might sound crass. If you have an old card, that like a birthday card, that you're like, I only want the front cover, like, you can use that too, and measure out the measurements that Alexis has, or you can just use a straight thing. You could push it right up to that line and iron, and you have a nice crisp line. So there's tricks, and all a part of that is practicing, and practicing makes progression. And definitely I have tons of ugly fabric that I will use in the first test to see what I'm doing wrong, or what I can do to make this situation better, or to make someone understand a little bit better. Yes, that's the thing. It's beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Like, what I might deem as ugly, somebody might be like, "Oh my god, that is the most gorgeous fabric." Um, I usually get I like to go get holiday fabric after the holidays, because it literally is like $2-3 a yard, and it usually has a mixed print, or it's like one direction, and then that's how I practice my fussy cutting. Um, that you It's like little things, just. And also, I don't let anything go to waste. I literally had a 3x6 of this of this waterproof canvas for, like, I don't know, since December, and I didn't toss it. And look, it came in handy. So what you may think you don't need right now, you might need it at a later date. Yes, someone's trash is another person's treasure. There's no truer words than that. No, I was trying. Because the lines go in just one direction. It got a little bit interesting, but it worked out. I like the way it looked. It has a very cool effect, and I wanted to go bold because normally I go solids for pockets. When it's anything with credit card slots, I always go solids so that way no one can see the imperfection. These times I was like, no, let's think outside the box. You have to like push yourself outside the box. I like solids because I feel like you can't see mistakes as much. But I did that, and then for the Deana, I decided to go for the 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 little bunny. I was like, why not? This is so cute. Let's go for the bunny. So I try to go like, oh, just try something new. You never know, that might be your new thing. Like I always used to sew with the same color as the bag so no one could see any mistakes. And then one day I started, all I want to do is contrast stitching. I just feel like it's like having hardware on the bag now. I just like the way it looks. So you never know what your new theme might be. Yeah, a matching can definitely elevate your bag. Also, like honestly, this is a really pretty bag, but if I just had blue, like match the blue, it would be pretty, but this pop of pink and the purple give it more of a whimsical Alice situation. And whoever gets this wallet, when they're probably going to say I'm late, I'm late, I'm late like 100 times, and they have like the whole thing when they're sliding in. So just, you know, give yourself some grace, have some fun, and you never know what you're going to make. Just like I didn't have trim, and I was like, what can I do outside of the box to say, hey, if you don't have trim, your wallet's still going to look like phenomenal. Some roses, like, and I even thought, I went through my button drawer. I have an outrageous button drawer, just so you know. And I have a lot of Disney buttons. I could not find anything Alice or the White Rabbit. So I was like, next time. But I was gonna stitch a bunny, like a button in the middle of this, just to give it a pop. So just have fun. I think I even went cotton, and yeah, I did that weird cotton and Tim Holtz in here. But I wish I did I sewed the top stitching on this one. But I mean, I still like the way it looks. I asked one of my friends, because every time she makes a wallet, she doesn't top stitch the card slots, and it just looks so crisp. Cardstock. Yes, Lynette, you are my word master right now. I know. I like all the different colors, and I like this one. It was my you guys got to see me make this one in there, and this was my Lord of the Ring one. So I absolutely love this. And that this zipper pulls for thumbs and thimble, and I'm like, anytime I could put this pull on anything. I did not have a magnet. I'm all out of Lord of the Ring magnets. So if you guys know anyone that's selling any, let your girl know. Okay. So yeah, I had Loki. I swear. He likes to play with the poles that the vinyls come on, and he carries them around in his mouth like they're a stick and knocks down everything in the process. Yeah. Yeah. So that's out. I put the links in the description box where you can purchase the pattern. And I think both of them are really awesome. And I think they could be really cute date clutches or wallets. But I also feel like this will be a really great at like farmers market, craft shows, because you can do like a chain row of different ones, and you can just have different fabrics. I guarantee you, probably if you make a tulip pink one, it will sell. Tulip pink is is their fabric's popular, but when you make a bag from tulip pink, I don't know, people just want to buy it because they're so used to making quilts with the fabric. So all the information's in there. I am today doing one test. I'm going to take my time and really slowly do it. And I'm going to listen to Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden. It's one of my favorite books. It's in Russia. It's dealing in Moscow, and it's like there's magic and all these politics. And I love all the accents in this particular one. She's won so many awards from this. I want to meet her so I can get my book signed. But I love that book. It is so whimsical. I don't understand why HBO or someone has not picked it up for a television series, because it has everything that you want in it: politics, magic, and like it deals with the winter god and like the accents and the words in there. It's a beautiful book. So I'm going to be listening to that. I put the link to that. I listen to Audible. I don't have a affiliate link. I know some people ask me what I'm reading, and unfortunately, I don't remember everything I said in the previous live. So I'm really bad at that. So that's what I'm reading today. Yesterday in Patreon, we finished up our Catalina. All right, I'll show you. Because my husband was like, yeah, this is a dope back show. He's really liking all my Star Wars ones. Normally he's like, oh, subpar Star Wars. He's like a Star Wars fan, like when people are around. But then he's asking me, what did Han Solo say? Be like, yeah. So this is the one we made. And it has a slip pocket in the front. And then we did some cool details on the back. And then the inside, we did some different measurements for the zipper gusset and the gusset of the bag. So this one comes down a little bit wider so you can stick more stuff in it. So we have a credit card slots on this side, and we have a slip pocket with a faux trim on this side. So short, sweet, and to the point, and this can be like on your chest, and you can stick a water bottle. Not like I was able to do like a small, what are those? A small water bottle. My son carries that cork something bottle. I was able to do a small one in regular water bottle size, but not like the nicer ones that keep everything nice and cool. But yeah, that's what we did yesterday. And I made one tester yesterday as well, and I really liked the way it turned out. I was trying to fussy cut on that one, and I spent way too long, and then I wind up scrapping the fuss and cutting because I was like, there's no way, because the way the fabric was being repeated, there was no way it would look weird. It would have like feet or something and 2 pictures, and I was like, yeah, I can't roll with this. But I think I found out like how to work that out yesterday. It just takes time and patience for that, and sometimes I don't have it. Most of the time, I'm telling you, as much as I think I'm Deadpool, I have the temperament of the Hulk. Sometimes I'm like super laid back, trying not to get angry, and then the other time I'm like, I'm gonna smash this whole room up. It's gonna be okay. I know. I like the fabric, the light fabrics in the inside too. I think I'm trying to do lighter because there's so many really good bag designers that really advocate for having lighter colors inside the bag, so that way people can see inside their bag easier. I, for one, think somebody needs to come out with a flashlight bag, where it's a special light that, like, when you open up the bag, it can illuminate in the inside. I'm just saying, somebody come up with that. You could take the idea, okay? Yeah. Yeah. You guys need to, someone needs to come up with that. We have some creative minds. If Olivia's watching this, you're super creative, come out with the light back. Like, can you imagine, like, you just open up the bag and it like either the zipper pocket or one of the pockets light up and you can see inside the bag. Hey, Nicole, come out with the light that makes the bag when you open up the bag. Can you imagine? You're like, oh, it's so dark in this theater. I'm going to go into my bag, and bam, a light comes from underneath. And you're like, oh, I can see my wallet. That piece of gum that I've been looking for 4 weeks, it's right there. I hate that. Like, does anyone else have that? Like, you'll have mint or gum. And I know my kids and my husband go in my bag and get the candy. I know they do. This is why I have a secret stash that no one knows about in my workroom with a lock. But then I'll be like, I know I just bought gum. And then when I dump out all my bag, I'm like, oh, you're at the very bottom, hidden in a pocket that I didn't know about. I'm telling you, a light, just even if it's just like a light that, or like a glow in the, I was thinking, would glow in the dark zipper tape work? But there's not enough light to make the zipper glow. So I don't know if reflective, I thought of that, but again, there's not enough light. If there was a zipper pull that had a light where, like, if you unzip your bag like this and you can just kind of stick the pull in inwards and it can light up, you can see stuff in there. I have a lot of ideas for light up bags because I like darker colors, and they're right. The darker your inside of your bag is, and it's harder to see. So, but if there was some kind of weird light, I'm just saying, a zipper pull might work because then you can change out the battery maybe. And that's another thing about lights, because you're always wondering when they go out, do you want that bag still? I'm for normalizing headlamps. I am all for that because there on my smaller Juki, it does not have a light, and I'm like, here we go, and it doesn't have a light at all. So if you ever, when you see me on the smaller Juki and it's like an aerial shot, chances are I have a headlight on. Chances are, because it has no light, and I keep saying I'm going to buy. I wanted to buy a different light. I have a really cool light. I have the auto light for the two bigger Jukis, and they're amazing because they come in like 6 different settings. And one of the settings is like this called like lunar white, and it's meant to help people with seasonal depression, that when it's darker outside, it helps. And realistically, it does. Like I always feel like it's daytime, and then when I go upstairs, I'm like, it's night. And Kendall's like, yeah, the sun set at 5 o'clock. I'm like, oh, did not know. Did not pay attention. So the auto lights are really good, and I actually have one on my nightstand that has like a magnifying glass, so I can do the English paper piecing, or knit or crochet, or look at Etsy. I'm not gonna lie, I have the light on when I'm just looking at Etsy too. So, and it just, I don't know, it's a very comforting light. It's something so simple that a lot of people battle with seasonal depression, or battle with, like, if you're a basement dweller like me, the sun and day night time, I'm like not aware of, unless someone's like, Shano, it's time to eat or something. I'm not I'm in the basement. I have a window that is like 12 by 6. There's no direct sunlight, so it's the false lights that make me feel like all the lights on overhead are all like LED lights and all that stuff, so I feel like it's bright all the time, and it makes me happy. Maybe that's why I get sad if I'm not in my sewing space. I didn't think of it that way until I worked it out with you. But yeah, lights can make a huge game changer in the sewing world. And if you're able to, look at the auto lights, or walk down Joann's and see they have these lights that are meant for us as makers to help with seasonal depression, or if you're a person that only sews at night because you work your 9 to 5 or whatever, this light can help elevate your mood while you're using it. And I think it's pretty cool because it's like no medicine, it's just light. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, message me on Facebook. Yeah. I don't know why it's not going through. There's like a couple people that have been having some Facebook issues. I had it too the other day, where I couldn't post anything like at all for like 48 hours, and there was no rhyme or reason. Um and then Facebook is in Messenger are acting up, and then I had like a massive update. I hate updating Facebook and Messenger because it's like, when you update Facebook, all of a sudden there's like, surprise, different feature you don't know about, and now you have to learn, and then possibly forget it because they're going to take it away. So good times, Facebook, good time. And same with Messenger. Like, I know like a couple of my besties probably get irritated with me when I change all the background in our conversation, because like right now they have a Taylor Swift one, and I just like, ooh, I'll start looking at features when they're like messaging me, and I'm looking at the features in the chat, like, well, we could change up. And knowing the fact that most likely in 6 months these features would be null and void, because like they test the waters so much. With updates for these two things, they test it with Instagram too. Instagram always drives me nuts, because I used to be able to link everything. Like I would able to put my reels on Instagram, and it would be able to go to all of my social media platforms. And for some reason, it's not doing it. I've checked my settings 100 times. I've reached out, and they're like, it's just a glitch. Maybe when you update, it'll change, and it has yet to change. Super fun times. Yeah, definitely message me. So yeah, today I'm testing, and that's it. Oh, I got these. Most important thing, I got these in the mail yesterday from Recent Relic. What? Okay, these things are heavy. super heavy, and I automatically wanted to throw them like ninja stars. So Hope got out of the room real quick because she's like, "You're too violent." So this one's a stiletto, and look, it's little honeybees, and there's like, I'm trying to. Okay, I'm gonna do it like the makeup influencers. Here you go. And it's little honey. This is a stiletto and a larger stiletto, right? And this point is good. They're magnets, so you can stick them to your machine without you losing them. Okay, you already know I lose everything, so you see me using this in almost every video. I use a bone folder because it's a nice blunt end and you can poke out those corners. And they're heavy. They're a nice weight. They're so pretty, and she has them in so many different styles. You can even get them customized. But the honeybees are so cute. Okay, I don't know how they do that. Now I'm gonna give social media influencers like all props. So, well, yes, they came in yesterday and they're so cute. I'm gonna buy a pair for like each station because what I do is I have little caddies for each station and I don't move the stuff in it or I won't be able to find anything at all. So I have like the caddies that I got one from Katherine from Sew Your Bag. It was in one of her box, and they're like these little caddies that sit up and they have your pins. And so I have, oh, here it is. Here's mine right here. So I have these and I put them in each sewing station. And yes, this looks raggedy, but all has a purpose. I have a screwdriver, the mini screwdrivers. I have two Tandy leather pins because one always doesn't work. And I don't know which one. And then I have my pen that is my X-Acto knife. As you can see, I edge paint with weird tools. And like one of the bobbin things to feed elastic through. I lose these all the time, so I have to put like the elastic that I last used in there. So I'll just stick these in here and then they'll stay in my station. Each station has this little one, so that way I'm not trying to grab from another station and then something goes MIA. That's the only way it works out for me because I lose everything. These are from recent Relic. I put the information in the description, but I'll put it in here too. It's just because I know the chat is weird. Sometimes it populates in 24 hours and sometimes like I don't see anything populate. I'm like, again, yay, social media platforms, you're amazing. So, yeah, I really like they have weight. So I'm like, bye plastic bone fingers. I have something that I mean, like I mean they have weight. Like I think you can legitimately use these as a pattern weight. They have a very good weight and they're magnetic. And I'm like, that's pretty freaking awesome. And I'm getting Barbara's information. Recent Relics. She's the one that I bought the table from, the mini table for my 1341. Freaking love that table. I should have read the instructions first and sanded it because I cut myself not once but twice when I was doing a tutorial live on Patreon. It was really awesome times. They got to see the all naturalness of Shinova's clumsiness. They're stainless steel as well. Good morning. Yeah, it's YouTube does a lot of interesting things. So definitely I always like Hope usually is the person that goes over all the stats for me. She's just really good at that, but I'll go over all the information for her channel. YouTube does weird stuff because we were talking about it the other day. I was showing her how she could do timestamps and she's like, why don't you do timestamps? I'm like, because I would literally need to write on a post-it while I'm filming what time is this, and I was like, I barely remember to read instructions when I'm doing a tutorial. So I'll be like, yeah, do this, and oh yeah, I forgot. You'll see me rip out a stitch like, no, you're supposed to do this first. Oh no, I know that sucks. I don't know why it does that, but yes, if you're reading something, try Bear and the Nightingale. It is a fantasy. It deals with so many cool things, and then you're gonna come out calling people demi boys and like talk about Mother Russia, and then like it's really really good. It's very whimsical. It's not super violent. It's a good read. It's like if I was gonna put it up on something, they're not alike, but that whimsicalness of Harry Potter, why adults still love Harry Potter, is Baron the Nightingale. Like, it is amazing. It's one of my favorite books to read. I read it at least twice a year. I usually try to read it around Halloween, because in it, like, the atmosphere is in Russia, so it snows more than there is sun. So like the you really get a part of that atmosphere, and I just think, ooh, hot chocolate and, you know, cool kind of TV movies or books. So like I read Practical Magic every Halloween like clockworks, like to the point where I can I can like recite like pages, give you the book and just recite pages. So, but yes, Baron the Nightingale is great, and there's three parts to the series, and all three parts are equally good. It's kind of that kind of reminds me of like the whole Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Sometimes when you get to the middle part or the second book, it's basically a setup for the finale, and you're just like, okay, wonk wonk. No, all three parts are equally good, and you'll just like it. Tonight, I'm so sorry. Yes, Orosa dropped two patterns. We have the Deana, and we have the Nettie. And she named them both after people that she really cares about. And they're both good. They're both nice size wallets. One's long. The Deana's a little bit longer, but the Nettie's a little bit taller. And just to show you, this is the inside of the Nettie. You have a credit card slip pocket, then another slip pocket, and a zipper pocket, and then on this side, credit cards. And this is made with all canvas, and this sides are just waterproof canvas. And the Nettie, this one's cotton. You have two slip pockets, and again, the center main compartment, you have your credit cards as well as your zipper pockets. So I think this is really cute. I like this key too. It's I don't know where I got it. Have you ever bought like hardware and then you're like, wait, where did I get this? I had one. So I have no clue. I like tore apart my zipper pulls. Like, okay, you have to be hiding somewhere. And you know what's crazy? I was looking. I knew I had one white rabbit, an antique, and one Alice. Could I find them when I was making this? No. I spent more time looking for these three pieces of hardware than making the bag. And that's what drives me nuts. I wish maybe a bag designer could come out with like a coloring book for their patterns. And I know, hear me out. Listen to me. Okay. You have these bags, right, that have all these really cool parts. But sometimes people don't know, like, hey, let me put a different pop of color here, or I want the lining to look like this. What if the anatomy of the bag is just a black and white picture where you can color it in? Like, oh yeah. Or do fabric swatches. Like you can like cut little squares and put it with it. I don't know. I'm a very visual person. And when I see someone else's pattern, sometimes my reflex is to automatically do what they have and theirs. For example, I think the first time I seen the Nettie, it said lining fabric for this wing. The second time I did it, I did it the lining too. But if I was to do it right now, I would probably take this little wing and make it the exterior. And that's actually what happened for Lord of the Ring. I was like, what if I take the exterior and turn it into the wing? And I like the way this looks better. I feel like it's a more cohesive look. And you would think, you'd be like, Shanova, you make bags every single day. Why didn't you think of that? Because as soon as I see the pattern's cover, I want to make something that looks like the pattern's cover. So maybe a coloring book. Just throwing that out there. That'll be a good holiday gift. Like, hey, you can doodle. I like coloring. There's like a whole bunch of colors behind me. Punk rock, Eeyore, all that stuff. Oh my God, there's so much more to Practical Magic. I always try to tell everyone, I'm like, because everyone has seen the movie. We all like, because who didn't want to be Nicole Kidman or Sandra Bullock's? Heck, I still want to be Nicole Kidman or Sandra Bullock's. They're phenomenal women. They're absolutely stellar, gorgeous, and they're phenomenal actors. I would be one of them in a heartbeat. Just throwing that out there. But when Practical Magic came out, and then you have these witches that have this history, it's just so good. And reading the prequel and all the books after, it's just they're an amazing series. I got a couple of books. I got a couple of the Practical Magic books recovered in leather. Oh my god, I love them. This lady, she does the best job covering books. That's like the one thing Kindle, because he's like, what do you want for your birthday? And I'll be like, oh, I want this new machine for the workroom. He's like, that's not sewing related. And I'm like, I can't control that my hobby is also my job. Okay. um so when he's looking for something else, he'll find books that I really love, and then he'll go and get them leather bound or art illustrated on in the side of the paper or whatever, because I love collecting books as well, and I love collecting signatures of books. Like I have 3 or 4 I she shall not be named J.K. Rowling books that are actually signed, because I did that same with Stephanie Meyers when Breaking Dawn came out. She was in Arizona, and I was in Arizona at the time, and I was at the Barnes and Noble that she was signing books at, so I got them signed. And you know what's crazy? I'm a huge Nora Roberts fan. I don't care what anybody says about her. She has like literally a 1,000 books. Okay, it's just give the woman credit where she's got credit. Now she lives in Maryland. She lives in Boonesboro, Maryland, and she has signings in the Boone's Brother library and bed and breakfast place like 4 times a year, and I have yet to get any of my books signed from her. And I'm like, if something happens to her and I don't get my books signed, I'm gonna cause havoc. Like I didn't get any of my Anne Rice books signed. And the thing is she was signing books, I think, in New York a year or 2 before she passed. And I was like, oh, I'll catch her next time. No, I like getting books. I like getting books signed. As soon as you even ask Samantha. Okay, so Samantha came out with the master class. Now you can get the book on Amazon. She's in the UK. Instead, I emailed her, which now I know I really emailed Elle, her sister. I emailed them like, I really want to purchase the book from them because I wanted to get it signed. So that's the thing that I do. I like getting books signed. I feel like it's cool. It may not be cool, but I feel like it's cool. And then I feel like it's more personable. I have my dream signs are Scott Lynch and Patrick Ruffus. He doesn't really go to any book signing. I did get George R. R. Martin because he was at Balticon 4 years ago. It's just a thing. I don't want to sell them either. Just it's like my personal collection. Yeah, the movie is really great. Why don't they make a TV series about that? There's so much information on Practical Magic that like I don't understand. HBO's one of his longest shows was True Blood. And it had because people are automatically enamored with like other beings. So why not pull like why not use Practical Magic? There's a lot of cool stuff that happens that they can make a little bit more racier if they want. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where that key pull is from. I want to say it's Level Up, but I don't think it's Level Up. I'm trying to think because I know Level Up has a tendency of having some more cool steampunk things, but I cannot remember. There is a strike artist that so like does a lot of tests like in the same like strike groups. Their name is Vanessa. They also have Nettie and Adina tutorial. We're in the same testing group too. I might ask them because they always know the hardware when I don't know it. So I might have to ask Vanessa to see if they know. Yeah. Dude, I have a really cool cover for The Name of the Wind is my favorite book of all time. I tell everyone to read it, and I don't again Showtime, HBO. If you're watching me, make that. If all of them can squash, but that is epic. Like we obviously like a kid growing up and having powers. There's no one cooler than Quoth. I love. Oh yeah, but I have a bad habit of picking artists that don't finish books. Like like the Gentleman Bastards. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, Scott Lynch. I'm waiting. That I love that. The reason why I like Gentleman Bastards is because how the main characters talk are literally how I talk. Like they're just like normal and then they throw in F bombs or just something random. I love me some Gentleman Bastards. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm actually, Faith has never seen Practical Magic. I might let her see it. I think Hope would like it more. They only like a certain movies that I watch. The most movies freak them out. Like I made Hope watch, yeah, I made her watch the first Dark Crystal, and she was like, "I'm gonna have night terrors. This is terrifying. How did your parents let you watch this?" And when now watching it as an adult, I'm like, "This is they make a lot of weird noise, like a lot." Yeah, I agree with you. I like they did a good job with Discovery of Witches. I love that. I didn't think I was gonna like the TV series. Not because I don't think my favorite part about the book is the second book. I love when they go back to the Elizabethan time. I love that book. I can listen to the second book on over and over and over again because I'm enamored with that time. Obviously, the world is too because we wouldn't have the Red Queen, all these things because we're all like a little bit curious about Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, because she did some really things that other queens and kings have never done before. So I feel like history is like enamored with her. So it was really cool to see Deborah like create this world. And because she's a history major and an English major, it just made it seem more interesting. And just like one of my favorite things is like they didn't like William Shakespeare because they're in their crew, Kit Marlowe was there. And it's been told throughout history in many stories that Kit Marlowe wrote all these really cool plays and William Shakespeare stole them. So I was really intrigued with it because it's something that I follow and I love William Shakespeare and I do like Marlowe's work as well. So I don't know. They did a really good job on AMC. I was weirdly surprised. Was it exactly like the second book? No. Cuz that's up in here. Even if you're listening to Audible, it's your imagination. Nothing's going to be better than that. But they did a really good job, I thought. So there was only 3 books, so there was 3 seasons, and I kind of like it like that. So the series doesn't just keep dragging on and not being good. But now I feel like they just need to make some other stuff that's been out for a very long time. And I understand they probably couldn't do they don't want a George R. R. Martin because like, Paul Patrick Ruffus did not come out with a third and final book. And he keeps promising. It's been like over 10 years though. Seriously. Like not gonna live forever, dude. I'm just I'll say, why would you leave your fans like that? But I think that would be a good series on HBO because there's a innocence to Quoth and there's like magic. I don't know. I just feel like it would do really, really well. Or the Gentleman Bastards. Or Joe Abercrombie, The First Law. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I love practical magic with all my heart. That's why I keep on saying we need to have a sewing party like where it's midnight margaritas, where it's like closer to 10 o'clock at night. We all have margaritas and we're just like all sewing the same bag, like witchy thing. I know, Gypsy. I felt like that too. Her books are super controversial. I'm not gonna let I love the Mayfair Witches. I will like I I read that series every Halloween too. Is it wrong? 110%. And I'm like saying, ew, gross, whatever, but keep going. Just keep going. Like because I think they're touching on subjects that people don't want to talk about. I did, and you know what's weird? I did like the TV series. I did not like they didn't have Aaron Leitner and they made Aaron Leitner and Michael into one person. I did not like that, but other than that, I kind of like the series. Yeah, I like the TVs like when they have the little series for Dark Crystal, I was all about it, but like Hope is very much like me where when we watch a season and the new season comes out, we have to watch the previous season. So she was like, there's no season. I was like, but there's a movie. So I made her watch Dark Crystal, and she was like freaking out. She was like, I don't like puppets, mom. I'm like, no one really likes puppets, but here, so watch it. She liked the TVs, like the little Netflix series, but yeah, the movie freaked her out. Like I was gonna have her watch what is the one where it's Tom Cruise and the unicorn Legends. She seen the devil and she was out. She was like, out. She's like, how did that not scare you as a kid? I was like, I don't know. Looking at it now, you're absolutely right. Like I used to like my parents love Drop Dead Fred. So I seen it like a million times. And watching it as an adult, I'm like, why didn't you guys let me watch this? This is so inappropriate. Different times, different times. Yeah. You the series is good. The series is good. It's on AMC for the Discovery Witches. It's good. And actually I feel like they cast the perfect characters. Like everyone, I thought they did a really good job. No, it's not going to have every character that's in all the series, so just be okay with that. It's kind of like if you read Lord of the Rings and watched Lord of the Rings, you know there's so many characters missing. You know so many things did not transpire, but you're watching somebody else's imagination of it. So I like both, but I don't put them together. Does that make sense? Like I will watch the Lord of the Rings series and Hobbit series like no one's business. I'm like following this Smog story right now. Not Smog, um my precious, what's his there's like a big controversy over him in a video game right now. Um he's actually coming to Awesome Con too, and I'm drawing a blank. But they're like I follow that and I don't think that they're the same thing as the book at all. Like at all. Like I like Alice in Wonderland as a book and I like the movies. They're not the same though. They have the same concept, but it's not following it. Think about it in the Hobbit series, like there was no girl elf that was like better than Legolas. There was no it was she's a made up character. She's a badass though. I want to be her when I grow up 100%. And I would say yes to Legolas. He's hot. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, yeah, watching them both. What book series? The one we're talking about is Discovery, which is the one I'm reading right now, is Bear and the Nightingale from Katherine Arden. I think it's like a storybook for adults. It doesn't have like adult themes, so it's like not no sexual innuendos. There's the if there is killing, you're not like hearing graphic gore. It is just so whimsical. Like I don't understand how it's not a movie, like or something. It is very, very whimsical and it made me love Russia in a different weird way. Like whenever I would think about it, like, okay, I automatically think Siberia. Don't ask. So, like I don't think anything glamorous. I think of Anastasia, I think of The Lost Princess. I think of things like weird stuff like that. I don't really like, ooh, I want to visit Russia. That's like never been on my list. But after reading her books, I wanted to visit Russia because she wrote a lot of the book while she was in Russia. And even though I know it's more cold atmosphere and things like that, the way she wrote it made me want to experience it just for a week at least. She did a phenomenal job. She's definitely a wordsmith. Oh no. No, I hate cliffhangers. Don't you have to do okay, we're you have to do a cliffhanger where we're not like freaking out. Kind of like Sweet Tooth, right? Because like when Hope seen it, I seen when her heart broke, like with Big Man. But I was like, just breathe, watch. And then they show the eyes opening at the last thing. You got to do something like that so that people are not panicking for a whole damn year. Like, is my favorite character dead? We all did this with Jon Snow. Now, the people who read the books, we already knew what's up. We're like, he's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Like, don't worry about it. Unless the character really dies in real life, he's fine. But we knew about it. But like people that don't read the book, they like totally freaked out. Like Games of Thrones is notorious for their TV series, like leaving you with a cliffhanger. Like That's go back to the first season when Ned Stark and like you see Arya running. You're like, wait, what? They're leaving him? Now, the people that read the book were like, she's gonna be okay. Like, but you can't tell the people that like my husband never read it, so he's like freaking out, and I'm like, I'm enjoying it because I know what's happening next, right? But yeah, I don't like major cliffhangers at the end of the series. That just because the way we are now, like it's not even a Netflix thing or all these TV series are just cutting off shows like left and right, and they're like some of them are really good and like wait, why is this getting canceled? Why? I'm not understanding. So like I don't, for the sake of the, just in case you get canceled, don't do a cliffhanger. Just don't. Leave us like what is the next adventure, but not a cliffhanger. Yeah, Legends is really odd, right? Like seriously, I don't think Tom Cruise has pants on like the whole movie. So just throwing that out there. Go back. There's I don't think he has pants. He's like wearing like a nightgown that has like fringe. He was a beautiful specimen though. But the all the puppets are freaky. Like all of them. Like all of them are just, now I watch it as an adult. I was afraid of the devil when I was little. I really thought that was the devil, like 100%. Like if you talk to little Nova, I'll be like, that is the devil. And my mom, my mom and my dad, they would laugh, and I'm like, it's not funny. I really think this is the devil. I think I'm afraid of Chucky, Annabelle, and dolls and stuff like that because of the 80s. Jim Henson was super popular, and now when I look at Fraggle Rock and all that stuff like that, a little shiver goes down me because I'm afraid of these puppets. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I like the little new Little Mermaid. I like that they. I don't think that the original Little Mermaid and the new Little Mermaid are anything alike. I think they have some similar concepts, but they explain a lot more. Like we get to understand why Ursula and Trident are not like talking. Why is Ursula pinpointing um Ariel? You get to figure that out, and I feel like that should have been explained in the original. Like it was, there was like fandom saying basically what we're seeing now, but there was no explanation. I love the little twist other than the kiss about her. I'm not going to ruin it. I love that because it made it more authentic when they fell in love. Um, and I also like, I know there's getting a lot of harp over like Eric's song Shipwreck or Ship something. I actually really liked it. It kind of reminded me of when Kristoff had his 80s breakdown in Frozen 2 when it was like that like that ballad where you're just like having your fist in the air swaying. It kind of reminded me of that, and I thought it was really cute because I think it paid homage to like this movie was made in 1989, so like giving it like an 80s song. There's like a lot of little things. I love Sebastian, I love Flounder because they look real, and Scuttle is like my favorite character now. I didn't like him in the cartoon. I was like, why is he telling her all these wrong things? But I love him and will love her in the new one. I thought it was really, really good. And I thought it gave a little bit more realism, magic realism when it came to mermaids. Especially towards the end, like being a mythical island and having mythical creatures. It just made more sense to me. And I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, like her singing. Holy heck. I understand why the original Little Mermaid said what she said now. She hits like every single note. Like I cried so hard when she sang Part of the World that my nose was stuffed up the rest of the movie. Yeah, that's, but I did get the bucket. There's a bucket at AMC that you can get, and it's like a limited edition one. I'm super excited about it. I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet, but it's going somewhere in my treasure trove. Okay, yeah, Never Ending Story is like freaky. Did you know Jack Black was in the third one? Yeah. And the third one's actually pretty good. Horrible like graphics, but the storyline's good. Because like the second one was like wonk wonk, but the Jack Black's in the third one as a villain. Bully. Just wanted to give you that. The more we know situation. Gollum, thank you guys. There's like a whole Gollum controversy right now. Yeah, never compare the books to the movies and you'll be fine. Because everybody that read True Blood series, you're like, after season 5, you know they didn't follow the series anymore, like at all. And then the ending is definitely not the ending that was in the books. Now, with that, there's fairness because I think the last book for Sookie Stackhouse came out a year after True Blood ended. But I think she went a different direction because of the TV series. So George R. R. Martin, whenever you want to write Games of Thrones, you're not getting any younger, my friend. I'm just throwing that out there. And you smoke a pipe every day, and you do very like risky things. So if you can even get a ghostwriter, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Oh my god. So yeah, okay. There's 5 moments. There's so many moments with Kendall that are hilarious because he doesn't read books. He like reads stuff about like sports. Like if you show him any sport thing, he can give you stats, whatever. That's him. He doesn't like to read. Like I'm sitting here like he'll like binge a season of something, and I'm binging books. So the Red Wedding for Kendall. Well, Ned Stark for Kendall because he was like, "Wait, Shinobi, you didn't tell me." And I was like. The Red Wedding, when it happened, I can't. That's Whole Door and Red Wedding are like the 2 episodes I don't watch ever again because I was emotionally wrecked. I was like, oh, I am too invested in these people and this fantasy, and it's playing a toll on me. But the Red Wedding, Kendall's eyes were so massive, and he was so hurt, and I'm like, oh yeah. I didn't tell him, so he didn't do that. And then again, Hunger Games was him and my brother for Hunger Games. Like when Prim died, I knew it was coming. I read the book series. They were screaming, "It's all for naught," and freaking out. I want to boycott the movie. I'm like, you're done. We have like 10 minutes left of the movie. Sit back down. Just have a seat. But yeah, those like it's hilarious. That's why I think I like watching things like Stranger Things. There's no book. So like I'm with you in the audience and we're like oohing and ahhing and freaking out. Like I think I screamed so loud. And I'm saying scream when Max's body started popping and stuff like that. I wasn't prepared. I thought like for sure because she's like a TV favorite. Like I was not prepared. Like there was no point in my brain that I thought it would get like that. I thought maybe she was gonna levitate and then they were gonna stop it. But I was like, damn you, 11, and your stupid powers. And Kendall was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're like 13. I was like, I was livid. I was livid. So I do that's why I watch TV shows like, uh Stranger Things or Wednesday or whatever because they're books that I have not read. See, like I read Witcher. I read all the series. So like when things happen, I know what's coming and like I'm still excited because I love it. But yeah, like when I get really extra excited if it's something that I've never read before. Because then I can have a natural reaction like Kendall. But yes, yeah, Stranger Things, he came out of nowhere because it was during some kind of sports event and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I am not okay." And I did the same thing with Barb. I wasn't prepared. I love Never Ending Story. I told you that's why I named Kendall Sebastian so I can go be like, "Bastian, say my name." I'm gonna get him a shirt that says that, and it's gonna be chef kiss because everyone's like, "You did it for your grandfather." Yes, it was just a twofer, Faith is Faith from Buffy. I had her saying 5x5 forever. And then when she finally watched the series, she's like, "Really, Mom? Really?" And I'm like, well, everyone wants to think it's a spiritual thing, but I literally named you after my favorite character in Buffy. And Hope from, they had Faith and Hope and Faith show. And I was like, why not? Like, yeah, best mother name ever. No one has idea. The red wedding is Yeah, it was traumatic. Like I felt like we all should be in some kind of group page talking about when you read the Red Wedding. Like I was trying to explain because Kendall did not understand Game Stone. He was like, I just don't understand why Arya killed the White Walker. I'm like, because you didn't read the books. I was like, Arya has been a murderer since like the first book. She's been an assassin since the first book. I was like, her first kill with the coin, like they didn't even show it. If they showed that on you think Games of Thrones is bad, but read the book. When you read the book, you'll be like, they did not show Arya in the full power of who she is. And she's like immortal, like just regular mortal. She's my favorite character. I'm not gonna lie, in the book series. I also like the witches because they have like an interesting backstory. And yes, guys, Khaleesi has been crazy since the first book. I just want you to know, no, oh, she wasn't crazy. If you read the book, you know, and if you really watch the series, yeah, she's kind of crazy. Just throwing that out there. Yeah. I can't. George R. R. Martin is like killing me. Like, and he's like in the East Coast a lot. I think I might punch him in the face because, like, don't do that. Don't do that. We already had when the Wheel of Time person passed away. We were lucky enough to have Brandon Sanders to finish the series for us. Cool, right? Thank you. But don't be like, I'm. This is going to be a trifecta. This is going to be 3 books, and then you forget to make the 3rd book, Patrick. You're my favorite book, both of them. Just finish the 3rd one. I got to get the King Killer. That's it. Okay. I have so much more questions about the Fae. Like he gave us a glimpse into it in the second book. I have so many other questions. Like, why isn't no one freaking out about his cloak? How did he get his Fae to work in the bar? So many questions. So many questions. And does Deana die? Does Deana die? Because I feel like she's gonna die, like from consumption or something. Because they speak about her in past tense. Patrick. See, Lisa Gentleman Bastards has 3. It's supposed to have a 4th book though. So yeah, because we find out in the 3rd there's more to the main character than meets the eye. Transformers. But yeah, it was, I don't know, these authors, I know it has to be hard to write a book. I know it has to be incredibly difficult, but it's also incredibly difficult for people to be really invested in a book and then nothing. Yeah. Okay. King Triton was hot. Like, don't get me wrong. Like the cartoon guy, he was like cool. He kind of looked like a messed up Odin. Um, Javier, though. And I like the fact that they deal with something that people don't want to talk about parenting, being a helicopter parent. It's real. You want to protect your child so much that you're willing to maybe hurt their feelings so that they don't get hurt by the real world. And I feel like they covered that and it's a real thing. And it's not wrong or right. I feel like some parents don't go through it and some parents do. Like I feel like I helicopter Faith a lot because she is really gullible and I'm afraid that she's going to get hurt. But in the realistic part, if I look at the big picture of the things, if I don't let her go, I'm going to hurt her more. So I feel like they dealt with that in Little Mermaid and no one's talking about that. Like they talked about a helicopter parent and it's real and he's not wrong or right. It's something that realistically happens when you're worried about someone that you love and then you start like hovering and controlling, and it's a real thing. I'm letting go. I learned from helicoptering so much over with Faith that I'm letting go more with Hope and Kendall because I don't want to make the same mistakes twice. But I felt like the movie covered it and I actually cried at the end because I knew exactly what he felt like, because you don't want to see them get hurt, but you're going to hurt them if you don't let them go. So I thought it was good. I thought it was a really good movie. And I think that it kind of like Frozen 2 and Frozen. A reason why I like these movies and then Kanto and Coco is they're bringing up subjects that people don't want to talk about. And yes, you seeing pretty colors, whimsical, like scenes going on. So you're not really paying attention. And if you sit down and pay attention, there are things that you're doing in your life that they're afraid of. Like it's amazing sometimes what Disney can do. They do a lot of wrong, but sometimes they do right. And I don't think people speak about that. Yes. Lucas and Max should win some kind of awards. Like he dealt with they dealt with a lot. Like whoever were the writers on them, I want a high five. Like the fact that he like Lucas is now like a basketball player or whatever, and he's not hanging out with his friends anymore, and he's doing dumb stuff to sit in this crowd and be a part of it. This is all a part of like sororities, fraternities, clubs, and stuff like this, and growing up and growing apart. So I think it's important for kids to watch that because I these are real life scenarios, and what Max is going through, even though she did not love her brother and she hated him, but feeling remorse because of his death, it's real. Depression is real, anxiety is real, and some people don't know how to deal with it. So I feel like these things are, yes, they're giving us that big moment where we're watching and we're just like, holy, this is phenomenal. The storyline's great, but they're also like lessons, like the more you know kind of scenario. And that's why I think I love the Netflix shows so much because even Wednesday had so many lessons. Like she was so anti her mom, and when she finally heard her mom's story, she changed. Um, so it was a lesson for kids because like Hope was like, if she just would have listened to her mom, and I'm like, yeah, it's hard. Like so it's like there are teachable moments, and sometimes it's good for these shows to teach somebody else something, or you watch it and you learn something about yourself that you didn't know. So with me, for like the Little Mermaid, I actually related to King Triton a lot because I did it to Faith. I was a helicopter mom like no one other because I'm always afraid for her. So it's a real, it's real. Like I think everyone should watch it just because they have mermaids of every shade underneath the sun, and the fact that mermaids are mythical and they can be anyone and everyone is very important for a kid to know, and to identify with. And I thought I was just a really good, like the singing was really good, and the scuttlebug gets stuck in my head. I can't rap like those two did, but it gets stuck in my head, and in my head I could rap like them. Okay, so Terry, I hope you have a really good day. Okay, yeah. Shannon, you need to message me with that. Like, I need to know about that. There's a never ending podcast. I need to get the information. The guy comes to AwesomeCon every year, and he just goes on different like more stories that Atreyu went on, like all these different things. I'm like, oh my god, you're amazing. No one loves never ending story like I do. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. The Red Wedding, I almost gave up on them. I'm not gonna lie. They almost lost me on that one. I knew it was coming. It's just one thing reading it or hearing it, and you know it's violent, but to see it, yeah. Whole door. I was crying. Kendall cried. Like we were crying, like the not like nonstop, like where your nose is stuffed up and you're just like dripping everywhere. Because I don't know. That's a weird destiny to have. But man, that was weird. I was like, I was not prepared. I was like, oh my God, my heart. All right. Well, I'm going to again stuff my face, start testing, and I hope everyone has a really good day. Listen to a book, read a book or so, and spend time with your family. I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. Bye.